Welcome back. Let's jump right into today's explainer. We are unpacking the Tokenization Playbook by Rojas Nagpal, and we're going to look at exactly how the very architecture of traditional finance is being rewired from the ground up. We're talking about the nuts and bolts of digital tokenization, this massive, enterprise-grade shift that's completely changing how we own, trade, and interact with real-world assets.
To really get this, I want you to picture this scenario. It's 2025. You're chilling on your absolute favorite beach somewhere, right? You pull out your smartphone, and in just a few minutes, you buy shares in some breakthrough startup halfway across the globe. Then, you decide to trade a fraction of a Picasso painting for a pair of ultra-rare collectible sneakers. Yes, actually trading fine art for vintage Air Jordans. You've invested in the copyright of a blockbuster movie, swapped some gold for fractional ownership in a private jet, and picked up a tiny slice of a massive, high-rent office building in Manhattan. This isn't sci-fi, folks. This is the very real, fast-paced reality of trading previously illiquid, high-value physical assets, all from the palm of your hand. So, to understand how we get there, this playbook gives us a 6-part roadmap. We'll cover the tokenization reality, tokenizing the world, the core benefits, overcoming the roadblocks, legal and regulatory rules, and finally, the ecosystem players.
Okay, let's dive into Section 1, the tokenization reality, defining the digital bridge.
Fundamentally, what is this? Tokenization is just the creation of blockchain tokens that represent a fraction of ownership in a real-world asset. Think art, debt, precious metals, real estate. A great way to visualize it is like slicing up a massive, incredibly expensive pizza. Each token is a verified, unchangeable slice of that underlying asset. It acts as this permanent bridge between the slow, clunky world of legacy finance and the lightning-fast, open-ledger digital world. Your slice is immediately ready to be bought, sold, or traded online.
Moving right along to Section 2, tokenizing the world, from masterpieces to aerospace.
The sheer versatility here is mind-blowing. We are way beyond just digital artwork now. The potential spans from massive commercial real estate all the way to the cosmos. I mean, literally, we're talking rockets, satellites, and space infrastructure. It democratizes investing so completely that everyday people can hold a piece of a satellite orbiting the Earth right alongside a fraction of an office building.
Let this number sink in for a second. 25,900. That's the estimated number of aircraft currently in global circulation.
Historically, if you wanted to invest in aviation, you basically had to be a billionaire or a massive corporation. But by putting commercial and private jets on a blockchain, tokenization totally shatters those barriers to entry. You don't need billions to buy a Boeing anymore. You can just hold a fraction of its revenue-generating power in your digital wallet. It gives airlines incredibly flexible financing options while opening a brand new asset class to retail investors.
And the scale gets even crazier. 58,000. That is roughly the number of merchant ships trading internationally at this very moment.
Think about turning massive cargo vessels, cruise ships, or luxury yachts into digital tokens. It completely simplifies how the global shipping industry is funded and managed. Suddenly, maritime business isn't a closed-door club. Anyone can participate in the physical infrastructure that runs our global supply chain.
Section 3, the core benefits: liquidity, security, and global access.
You really see the value when you look at the friction in traditional ownership. It's expensive, it's painfully illiquid, it's tied down by geography, and settlement times are incredibly slow because of all the middlemen. Now compare that to tokenized ownership. It's low cost, perfectly fractionalized, and you can access it from anywhere. But the real game changer? Rapid blockchain settlement. We're talking about moving from a T+2 or T+3 system where you wait days for a trade to actually clear to T0, where it happens instantly. You're just stripping away all that administrative bloat.
And that leads us to one of the most exciting aspects of all this: programmable assets. Because these tokens live on a blockchain, they're powered by smart contracts. This means corporate actions can literally automate themselves. Say you own that fraction of the Boeing jet we mentioned, and it's leased out. The smart contract automatically enforces the terms and pays your share of the lease dividends directly into your wallet. No human intervention needed. It beefs up security against fraud and makes diversifying your portfolio incredibly simple.
Now for Section 4, overcoming the roadblocks, the realities of implementation. Look, as amazing as this sounds, it's not as simple as just hitting a mint button. There is some massive technical friction when you try to jam decentralized tech into rigid legacy financial systems. Plus, how do you actually agree on the value of something totally unique, like that Picasso, before you tokenize it? And on the legal side, you generally have to transfer the physical ownership of the asset into what's called a special purpose vehicle, or an SPV. Think of an SPV as a mini company created just to legally hold that one specific physical asset. Setting that up, that takes some serious legal heavy lifting.
Section 5. Legal and regulatory rules. Asset legalities versus blockchain jurisdictions. So here's the reality check. You're fighting a two-front legal battle here. First, you have the strict legalities tied to the physical asset itself. Before a single token representing that SPV can be minted, you have to do deep legal due diligence to prove clear ownership and title. You have to lock in transparent valuation methods, and, maybe the biggest headache, you have to figure out the crazy taxation consequences for both the original owner and the folks holding the new tokens. Then, you have to pivot to the network layer. Just because a blockchain is decentralized doesn't mean it operates outside the law, right? Token issuers have to navigate global jurisdictional conflicts. They've got to comply with strict data privacy laws, like GDPR over in Europe. And absolutely critically, they have to implement rigorous anti-money laundering and counter-terrorist financing transaction monitoring. The system has to stay secure and fully compliant.
Finally, Section 6, the ecosystem players. Who makes tokenization happen?
So who actually pulls all this off? Let's walk through the pipeline using our Picasso painting as the example. First up are the custodians. They're the actual physical vault safeguarding the artwork in the real world. Next, blockchain developers step in to build out the smart contracts and the technical protocols. Then, token issuers formally mint and distribute the digital tokens that represent your fractional ownership, making sure all the legal boxes are checked. Once minted, those tokens go live on specialized exchanges where they can be actively traded. And finally, you have asset managers stepping in to advise clients and manage these dynamic, new tokenized portfolios.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to really chew on. We are standing on the very edge of seeing thousands of aircraft, merchant ships, and prime properties flow into a borderless open ledger system. The technology works. The playbook is already written. But here's the multi-trillion-dollar question. Are our legacy corporate and legal frameworks truly prepared to operate in a fully fractionalized, brilliantly programmable world?